There's an aspect to open-pit copper mining that plays to our inner child. The excitement that comes from digging in the dirt for something valuable.
Mining makes me excited because it's blasting, it's big equipment, and you're moving rock. It plays into me being younger, that you get to dig a hole to see how big you can dig it, how long it'll last, and now you get to do it on a larger scale.
And that's why so much about copper mining is about innovation, especially when it comes to operating a mine safely and efficiently.
We put a big emphasis on safe production. It's not just safety, it's not production, it's safe production. And you have to do both at the same time.
Benny Corbell is a mine manager at Freeport McMoran, with deep roots in Arizona's copper mining industry.
I'm a fourth-generation miner. I'm proud that it's been a great career for me and my family, and that we get to produce something that benefits our communities, our state, our country, and the world.
An example of innovation can be found in the data collected from hundreds of sensors embedded in these gigantic, 2-story tall haul trucks.
Right now, we're in a maintenance shop, and one of the most important things you could do is take care of your assets, whether it's your people or your equipment. At Freeport, we do preventative maintenance and look at data to ensure that we're taking care that if something's happening with the truck, we can shut it down right away, because the machinery that you see around you is millions of dollars.
With regular maintenance, many haul trucks run 15 years or longer. Within the next few years, they may also be autonomous.
Autonomous means that there is not a driver operating the haul truck. Everybody that comes into an autonomous operating zone has to have GPS, have to have sensors, and we have to have an extreme amount of training to come in there. The haul trucks know where you're at, you know where the haul trucks are at, and if there's any question about that, the haul trucks will stop, and it becomes a very safe environment for us.
Another example of innovation is this technology center in Safford, Arizona, known as the Central Analytical Service Center, or CASC.
This is a state-of-the-art facility for processing samples from our different mine sites. So all of our mine sites are taking samples of the material as it moves through our process, and then they're shipped here, and the technicians take those samples and they run them through various tests and send the results back to our engineers and our metallurgists so that they can use that information to optimize our processes.
At CASC, robots test more than 800 samples a day, providing critical information about mine sites faster and more accurately than ever.
It'll tell you things like what is the copper concentration contained in the rock in the sample. It can also tell you things like impurities, so things like clays or different type of concentrations. It can tell us about those impurities, and we can use that information to help us extract the copper and minimize the amount of impurities in the material we're processing.
Robert Catron is Director of Global Data and Analytics at Freeport, which every day collects about 13 billion data points from its operations around the world and processes it using artificial intelligence, or AI.
As part of data and analytics, we first focus on collecting the data from the field. Then we process and clean the data and get it ready to be fed into different AI models for optimization of our processes, as well as visualize inside of different reports that tell our leadership how to manage the business and move it forward on a day-to-day basis.
The use of data has sparked one of Freeport's most innovative programs yet, called Leach to the Last Drop.
Leaching is the process of stacking copper-containing rock onto a pile, and then we add drip line on top of it, and we take a chemical solution and we drip it onto that pile of rock. As that drip solution moves through that rock, it actually bonds with the copper molecules in the rock, and then at the bottom of that pile, we collect it in a big pond and we can process that.
Leach to the Last Drop involves Freeport going back to its existing stockpiles of ore and re-leaching them. Freeport estimates that the program could help it recover millions of pounds of copper.
And so innovation is finding new ways to process copper that we thought was never processable before, right? There's all this copper out there that previously we thought we would never be able to extract. We thought we had hit the limit of what was possible. But with analytics and operational innovation, we're actually now able to extract that copper. We're able to go out there and unlock it and bring it to market in a very cost-effective and environmentally safe way.
Coming up in Copper Connects Us, we'll look at some of the strategies Freeport is using to make its operations more sustainable.